welcome back, friends, folks, and Frenokes. Sorry about that. We're not sure what exactly happened.
We need a new modem.
Yeah, I need to get it installed.
Just give me shit, Mike. Okay.
Yeah, but Discord also fucked up hardcore for me. So,
Oh, gotcha.
with sunspots.
It's
Sunspots,
sunspots,
yep.
absolutely. But yeah, I will go pick up his P90 for him. I just want to talk to Frank first.
Yeah, that's fine. We will
Yep.
do that real quick.
But yeah, she knocks on in Frank's door.
Knock, knock, knock
Uh,
on Frank's door.
yeah, takes him a second, but Frank finally goes, "Who is it?"
It's me.
Come in.
Yeah. Door opens, I'm sure.
And
Steps down inside.
yeah, Frank's room is kind of a mess. Cigarettes not neatly in the ashtray like the last time you were in the room.
Ooh.
Trash can on the floor, splayed out. You see a bunch of bloody tissues. Smoking a cigarette, sitting on the edge of his bed. He's living in about as much of a pigsty you can live in as 3 days can afford you. And he just looks at you, just like cold and like almost indifferent.
Probably. Hold on. Bloody tissues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got the numbers here. But what do those come out to be? Is it 3, 4, 5, 2?
Yeah.
Uh, probably
Urinary
looks.
tract infection.
UTI, yes! That's what
That's
that
the
is.
one. He's
Yeah.
been pissing into tissues.
Well,
You mean
pissing
you
is more.
don't? Bro, piss RP.
Piss
Okay.
Christ. Piss Christ. Piss Christ.
Jesus. So, gonna kind of look at that, the cigarettes, the ashtray, and kind of. Is he? You said he's sitting on the end of the bed.
Yeah, and there's cigarette butts everywhere. Like, there's an empty carton pack. It looks like he's just been chain smoking for 3 days straight.
Jesus. She's probably gonna go sit on the end of the bed next to him and go, "Hey, how are you?"
Frank is gonna like kind of do like a subtle kind of scoot away. He's gonna be
Sure.
gonna like pull a long drag off his cigarette and just be like, never better. You?
Are those bloody tissues around the ship yours?
Kind of like ashes a cigarette, looks up and goes, probably.
Probably closes her eyes and how bad?
Real bad.
Probably just kind of hangs her head for a minute. Who knows?
Bruce, don't even think Captain knows.
Not him.
Kind of runs his tongue like on his teeth under his mouth in like an anxious kind of way. Is like, no, it's not happening either. And he kind of like gives you a very serious look as he says that.
Yeah, and she probably meets his gaze and goes, "I'm not here to judge. I just want to know what happened."
Kind of stands up, flicks the cigarette onto the ground, and like with his back turned to you, he just kind of like It's like you can look at the footage. Thuzy probably has it on Thuzy probably has it on loop. Wouldn't fucking know.
Frank, I don't want to hear it from a robot. Stands.
Um,
Whatever happened,
is in the past. And he just like turns around and looks at you like real hard.
must have been hard for you. And I
And
just
that
want you to know I'm here.
like catches him off guard. Like he very much is like, like, and like he kind of recovers, he kind of pulls out another cigarette, kind of hand is like trembling a little bit. And this is the first time you realize, wow, Frank has been kind of shaky lately, but this is like bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he and like you almost can't tell if it's like an emotional thing or if it's like a physical thing. And he lights another cigarette, kind of shifts it around in his mouth, and he's like, I have lost everything that I have loved. And now I'm going to die.
At the word die, she does close her eyes and goes, is that why you're doing this?
Kind of just takes a long drag, kind of lowers his hand and kind of goes partially limp, and he's like, don't know.
Frank or Domingo? You have a choice to be one or the other for what time is left. I will stand by you whichever you choose. But I think you're happier being Domingo, yes? And she gives him a hug.
Yeah, you give him a hug, and like it's like a fucking domino. Like the second you give him a hug, he just like fucking breaks. He is like a fucking mess. He's just like, I just don't fuck, like sort of thing. And like kind of like he's just like, I just don't.
My
I've
parents named
done
me
this.
Domingo.
God, he's just like, I've done this for a decade. And like he kind of breaks out and like slams his fist into the wall. And like, this is a steel bulkhead. It doesn't give. Uh and he's just like, he's not gonna fucking do it. And he's just like looks just so anxious and just like he's just bottled this shit up probably his whole fucking life, you know? Like, and he just like fucking looks at his hand, which is not doing so hot, and he fucking kind of like catches himself and kind of and like it's like I'm sorry. Uh
Let's get that
you
hand fixed, and don't ever apologize to me for that. I'm
and
here
he's
to
like
listen, and you deserve to be listened to.
he's like he's not in the med bay, is he?
Not at the moment. Would you like me to come with you?
Yeah. I yeah.
Hey, you are okay. Being broken doesn't mean Being broken isn't everything.
Yeah, and he kind of like trembles and like puts the cigarette back in his mouth and is like, time will tell. Kind of, yeah. He
And I guess we
starts.
go to the medbay.
Yeah, he like straightens himself up, wipes his face off, and kind of does that standard like chest like held high, straight back posture that he does. Walks to the med bay, and he looks rough,
Now it looks like Indiana beat the shit out of Frank.
right? God, this is gonna be fucking gossip central for the crew of the
Yeah,
Calliope.
you see some like crew members who are just like in the hallway just shooting the shit because this is the crew deck. This is where everyone lives, and they
Yeah,
see you two come out and see the way you are, and they're just like, and then just go into one of their rooms.
yeah. If any of them like stare as we walk by, Frank probably just looks and goes, "What?" Like through like gritted teeth with like the cigarette.
And actually, who do you see tromping by who just says cheery hello to you both, but Set in
Of
his robot
course.
dog body?
I ignore it completely. Frank is still at that stage where he just doesn't even want to believe it exists. He's just like, if I don't pay attention to it, it's not
It'll
real.
go away.
It'll go away.
I'll drink to
Demon.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
But
Just
yeah,
yeah, we'll take him to the medbay, and I have taken up more than enough of your time.
as have I.
And that's why I was going to say we're going to use Set as a cutaway. You're probably in your room at this time of night, or would you be, Sin?
Fabrication, but maybe blaring music.
Here again, say again. I heard blaring
Oh,
music.
I'm in the fabrication bay, just blaring music as I just work on whatever random shit I'm working on. It's how he just unwinds and relaxes. Sitting in
Yeah,
his room, seems off.
you're maybe salvaging still parts from those Kairos mechs you guys blew up in the Appalachians.
Yeah.
But yeah, the elevator comes down and Set comes trotting up like a happy little puppy. And he's like, what do you call you, Sin, or what do you call you? Oh, wait. Hunter, I have great news. My worm in Methuselah's programming has brought back so many interesting things.
Oh, really
Excuse
now?
me?
Oh,
Lol.
things like
He
what?
is a computer virus.
God damn it!
Well, do fill me in.
Oh, he just hunkers down because one of his two optics is a holographic video projector, and he plays the footage.
Which one?
Uh, Frank beating the shit out of
Yeah.
Murr.
Yeah, the footage.
The
The
footage.
Hmm. So Frank laying down the beat down on Murr. All right. Didn't know that was gonna be a thing. Oh, this
I
will be
didn't
interesting.
either. Humans are so overly complicated.
Damn right.
That might as well be the fucking theme of this goddamn show. Humans are so overly complicated.
You wanted a story about space rock cancer terrorists, and you
And
get a
we've
story.
given you domestic drama.
We've
Why does
given
that
you
sound
an
like a big rock
episode of.
candy mountain?
We've given you an episode of Dallas, basically.
On the big space candy, right? Or on
Or
the
one of
big
the
space
really,
cancer
really-
mountain.
Or that really, really messed up episode of Little House on the Prairie, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. Sorry.
I was gonna say, or like a very, very plebeian Downton Abbey.
Ow. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the fucking captain did quote it. Is it cold up on that high ground of yours?
Yeah, Frank never watched Downton Abbey. He didn't get it.
Downton Abbey probably doesn't exist. Let's be honest. I think that came after Shiva.
I'll find
Downton
out.
Abbey?
Didn't it?
Nah. Downton Abbey, kind of old, right?
I thought it
Like I
was
said, I'm on it.
fairly recent.
I love it.
I should research this shit.
Original release is 2010.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. If it's after 25 or 2005, it's up in the air whether it exists or not.
Probably not. It's Downton Abbey.
No one has time for that
Yeah.
shit.
Although it would make sense that the British of all people would be like, who cares, space rock. Stiff upper lip and all that. But yeah, he plays the footage and then it's like, I don't understand though. To my understanding, their relationship was rather good. Why would he commit such brutality?
Because he harbors intense distaste for the fact that Murr's gonna be putting his life on the line every single day, trying to be Yaksha. He feels like he has some debt to him that he has to protect him, and beating the poor kid. Sorry, there's a noise outside my room. And beating the poor kid down.
Ooh.
It's probably his way of trying to show just how hard it's gonna be.
This doesn't seem like it would foster a healthy workplace relationship.
Oh no, it don't.
I failed to find this compelling reason for this.
You'll continue to learn that people make really, really weird choices, like deciding to beat each other up as a way to make a point.
And it's around the time that you say this that on cue, fucking Greasy's like, hey, look, I made fucking Dragon's Breath ammo for Mer's gun. You think he's gonna like it?
He's gonna fucking love it.
Hell
has
yeah,
no
you
idea.
wanna look? Don't touch it though. I'm not sure how stable the compound is. I made it after all. This is some bathtub thermite kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
I should have made it.
Thermite.
I'll take a look at it. What am I looking at here?
I mean, he fabricated up, white phosphorus ammunition.
What?
Yikes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
white
but I don't think
phosphorus
that
is
Murr...
reactive with air and literally everything else. How is he keeping it stable?
It's
That's the problem.
It's in the bullet. It's basically a super incendiary bullet. It means even if he doesn't like break the armor on someone, they're still on fire.
Yeah, I feel like Murr wouldn't be super happy having war crime ammunition.
No, he wouldn't.
Okay, here's the thing though. How many war crimes have we committed on this channel? Too many? Think about
Well,
it.
none of you are
Just-
child.
just
owning,
Not enough.
owning this ammunition is a fucking war crime, dude.
And he
Okay,
produced
using
it. He not only owns it, he produced it.
This is like saying, this would be like a New Amsterdam saying, hey Lucky, here's some mustard gas grenades. Here you go.
Hell yeah, brother. I prefer chlorine. It just burns someone. Doesn't choke them, it burns them.
Yeah, probably like, well, I must say that's a fine piece of work, except I don't know how the captain's going to take you to be producing that.
What? Half the shit on these mechs is even worse.
Well,
That new guy, he's got a goddamn railgun on that thing.
TBK ammo has been a staple of this fucking ship for like 2 years.
And like your shit. These Nexus weapons, you're using fucking weaponized nanites. How the fuck am I supposed to compete with that? And you got Frank. You got good old Happy Fist Frank, if you know what I mean. He's up there in his TBK shit. He's just burning it in the whole country.
No!
Happy Fist. Nice.
Happy Fist Frank! Oh no!
The best part about playing Greasy is I'm not thinking about anything I say.
isn't it great?
At least he
He's
hasn't
got
said
that-
anything about the Raleigh yet. Anyways.
He's got that TBK shit. And you know what? I don't trust none of these robots. Sorry, present company excluded. You know what I mean? But that Uncle Copcon and that fucking Raleigh, I think it wants to kill us all. Like
I don't have
straight
a
out.
lot of I don't have the uncle.
Oh, damn. But Uncle Compcon cannot be killed in a way that matters.
I chose not to use uncle because he's not an NHP.
Uncle was made with a dark pact with gods.
He's also a really shitty shot, so I can do better.
Ah, I love
That's
that.
funny.
I mean, he
Or
is,
she
so
have,
go ahead.
or does she have that? Well, anyway, you seen the bullets that thing shoots? They're bigger than my freaking arm, and I got big arms. He does have big arms.
Thank you, James.
So
Not
why do
any.
I get in trouble for making some chemical warfare ammunition?
Well, because all these other weapons you describe usually kill someone in an instant. The stuff you have here, if it lands on
Whoa,
someone, is
whoa,
gonna
whoa, whoa,
burn.
whoa, 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 whoa. You're saying that TPK shit kills someone instantly. I've reviewed the footage. I hear a lot of screaming.
Oh, fucking hell.
Holy shit!
It's pretty quick, and you can get it off if you're quick enough. I think.
No, you don't. This shit's like napalm. It sticks to you. You jump in the water. It makes it worse.
This isn't it. I don't
It's
know
not
war
fine.
crimes in real life. As I well, from what I understand with this stuff, and I'm not no chemical engineer, it's like 1,000 times worse than the stuff he's using.
Oh, it'll hurt like hell, that's for sure. But at the same time, you want these fucks dead, don't you? Nothing says stay down than having a bullet wound that's also on fire.
That won't go out, and that continues to burn inside until you're just nothing but ash.
No, not nothing but ash, but it's sure gonna make you feel like you got some muy caliente in there.
You're right. It's hot enough to burn the ash away, even. So you're just nothing.
He kind of just looks at you like, and your point is.
Sin just shrugs. He's like, I'm just saying that's probably why it's illegal. I think it could be useful, especially if we need to get through some like heavy armor, bulkheads, things like that. Murr might be against it being a doctor and all. He's all about maybe mercy killings,
Ugh,
not killing at all.
whatever. I'll put these away. I'll
Well,
put
no,
them
hold
in my.
on. I'll take them because I
Wait,
might find a use
no,
for them.
these are chambered specifically for this kind of gun. I don't think you got the same rounds, but I'll do you one better.
Make me
Give
a gun.
me your gun, and I'll chamber them for you. I'll make you some killer shit. Cause you and me, we's on the same wavelength when it comes to some fucks need killing, some fucks need killing quick, some fucks need killing hard, some fucks need killing slow.
More. I'll hand over my gun. I'm not into war crimes. Everyone else gets one. I get one too.
Yeah, he's already like disassembling it so that he can like intricately look at it. He's like, hell yeah. Oh, nice piece. I promise I'll get it back in one piece.
At what point does Indiana come down for the P90?
Probably about that time as you see him like disassembling the gun. And he sees you, he's like, hey Rambo, how's it going? I heard you kicked some ass, took some names. Oh, what's that on your neck? Kinky.
Indiana's probably not really paying attention. She seems a little off. And kind of goes, "Hey, I'm here for Mers P90."
Oh yeah, yeah. And he's like goes and gets. He's like, as I was saying I was saying to Sin over there, I made some white phosphorus ammunition for this, but they were like, oh no, doctors don't like that. So nah, these are just standard. They got the FMJ. These are Geneva approved, I think.
Thing.
Crazy. Do you know who's spreading the rumor that Yakshas beat the crap out of Mer?
I haven't heard that one yet, but not a lot of people come down to see me. I think they say my what was it the captain put on my last review? Abrasive personality.
Just-
Kind of
But
looks.
if you want to know who I think it is. It's probably that fucking loudmouth, don't you know, Ryota? I mean, dude could speak 12 languages. He could probably spread fucking rumors in at least 6 of them.
I'll keep that in mind. Actually, now I want to go beat the fucking shit out of Ryota. I have a reason to kick the crap out of Ryota, guys. Put that on the fucking list.
You?
I'll get to it when I get to it. But
Hey, by the way, tell Kid that when he shoots that thing, you gotta take it down to the range first. I'm not sure if it's fully cleaned, and I'd rather if it blew up, it be on the ship.
he also needs to have it zeroed, which is probably what I'll tell him instead of it potentially blowing up in his face.
Probably better. But remember that is a distinct possibility.
Kind of looks. Actually, is fucking Howler around at all? At least down here.
Well, he's on the ship somewhere nice and quiet, with nobody watching.
Well,
he's talking to Methuselah.
You get a text asking if you can come down here. Wait, say that again?
Nothing.
Somewhere nice and away from Methuselah?
No,
No.
he's talking to Methuselah.
Oh, you get a text asking if you can come down here.
OMW.
Okay. I want him to get here. Because
Yeah, we'll cut back to what you were talking to Methuselah about
Yeah, go
after
ahead.
this.
Sure.
Oh, if they're here now. Kind
Yeah.
of looks at them both and goes, yeah, she's still got kind of that far away look, but just kind of looks at them both and goes, Frank is dying.
What?
More clear on that.
No. No, as in, Frank, I'm assuming. I'm thinking it's cancer. Or, if memory serves, I imagine there's a little much too much TBK in his system. His hands are shaky. He can't hold a fucking cigarette anymore.
Can someone tell me what that is? Because I still haven't figured it out.
Total biome kill.
Yeah, it's
Basically,
basically
Agent Orange.
like Agent Orange, but also very flammable.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
The gun,
Oh my
the
god,
world
you
burn.
mix Agent Orange with napalm and you get fucking TBK.
TBK is designed not as a defolianator. It kills everything in the biome. It makes the air caustic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is called the world burner Genghis for a reason.
So, she kind of
Bless
looks at him and goes,
Does the kid know?
as far as I know, not even the captain knows. Grazy, I know you're listening, but if you could keep at least one thing between us, could it be this?
Well, consider it.
My question is, why come to us and not the captain?
Because the captain is in a position where she can't be a friend to Frank. She has to be the captain. She has to be his boss. Frank needs friends now more than ever. And whether he likes it or not, he's what we are what he's got.
That's a
This-
scary thought.
This,
You're fucked.
she said, I assume you've heard the rumors.
At this fucking set,
I was gonna say,
walks
Sin,
up.
yeah, Sin Chuckles goes, "Say, play the tape."
He just starts playing the footage, and he's like, I managed to get these from a worm that I have implanted in Methuselah's programming.
You
Well, what is it? Wait, where'd you get it?
From a worm I have implanted in Methuselah's programming.
wait, so
I was originally constructed to be a computer virus meant to destroy the world economy.
It's my assumption that's why Kong doesn't like him.
But like,
That's why
as
I-
soon as he says that
That's
he
why I
got
don't
this,
like him.
got this information the way he did, King actually goes, ingenuitive. Didn't expect that.
Yay, they can be friends.
watching this play in its totality and goes, "Oh, now I understand."
What the hell?
Really didn't hold back on the poor kid. It's probably the
He
right
did
thing to do.
not.
He wants us to hate him.
Either that or he just wanted to show just how harsh being a Yaksha can be at times. Some of the choices we have to make or live with. I mean, we've all had to go through that.
Either way,
I
Now I know why
reiterate.
he took the bullet for me on the happier thing. He wants to go a different way.
well,
I will say this, though. Doesn't this not foster a proper environment if he is going to be a combat teammate with Mur? You would believe that he would want him to believe that he has his back. But I believe that this will only push them further apart.
is this
This
video or
complicates the
audio?
relationship. Both.
Okay, so remind me, Frank, what he made him swear 3 times.
Basically all of the thing, like swear that he understood and would uphold, like basically that if everyone needed to cut and run and Mur was the one who had to be left behind, that Mur would let that happen. He would also take a bullet for any of his teammates, no matter the circumstance.
Hmm.
Basically that real like idealistic Yaksha shit.
Like, yeah, she, replay that.
He backs up the footage and plays it again.
Well, just that section. I don't need to
Yeah.
see the rest of it. I. He realizes it's not going to change our opinion, right?
It has changed my opinion.
Well, that's because you are ones and zeros. All you have to do is flick a number and it changes.
Oh, he gets real quiet, and then King in your head, Howler's just like, yeah, better that than me be influenced by a bunch of chemicals. Fleshbag.
Haha.
I love it.
But returning to the
Howler grits
footage,
his teeth but doesn't say anything.
but returns back to this footage and goes,
I don't think he did this to make anyone hate him. I mean, he did it in the seclusion of a training area, n- obviously not realizing that he was being recorded. Uh,
"There are
and
cameras all over this ship. He had no way of not knowing he was recorded."
Yeah, especially when he's going to do something that big.
You wouldn't believe the other footage that I managed to parse through.
let's leave that on the table for later. We're going to focus on this one right now.
I'm interested. What other footage did he find?
Find
It's
out.
basically him saying, Methuselah sees everything people do.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I would
Mm.
rather not think about that at all, please.
Yeah, we don't want to know.
Because the day I find out that there are cameras in the showers is the day I go to the captain and say, "Cut this shit out right now, you pervert. I know you had them installed there, motherfucker. You knew they were there, and if you didn't want them there, they wouldn't be there." Anyways. But that
Yaksha's
being-
going wild.
Ha.
That's how she makes her money.
Oh shit. Never mind. All right, I can't think about that right now. Back to the topic at hand. Goes and looks at. There are rumors, probably started by Ryota, that. Well, we all had a hand in this.
I could release this footage if you want. It would exonerate all of you, except for Frank.
I love that we think alike.
Don't do that.
I vote the footage is destroyed.
Can you get back into Methuselah and erase that footage?
I doubt that I can erase it completely. Methuselah does have sophisticated enough software that he's able to hide backups from me. There's a lot of infrastructure for me to have to work my way through in order to see where in the Calliope he is hiding things.
Where?
It's all right.
Go ahead.
Can you restrict access to that footage?
I can, but seeing as he has kernel access to everything, seeing as it is his information, it would only allow outsiders to be unable to access that information. Methuselah himself would still be able to release it to whoever he sees fit.
I don't think we need to cover this up. I just think we need to let it live.
I can
Rewrite
delete the
Methuselah.
footage from my own information bank.
We should probably keep it on hand.
As a possible way of blackmail. How
No,
thoughtful.
not at all.
Oh.
Kind of looks at the other two. Are we behind Frank or not?
Did he have a reason why? I mean, I'm behind Frank, yes, but it would be nice to know.
That's a
Just trying
question
to
for
harbor.
him and him alone. At the end of the day, I think his machinations are his own.
To me, it just seemed like he was just trying to beat the harsh reality of, well, combat into the poor kid. I might have gone a little too far with how brutal it was, but I mean, it was either learn on the deck or learn out in combat. At least now he might be prepared for some of the beating he's going to take.
So,
Have you taken a moment to kind of? Is it plausible I might have seen the specs for the uh, mech he's going to be in? By the way.
No, he hasn't gone and picked one yet.
Oh, okay.
They have to
Never
go
mind.
shopping.
Shopping. All right. No, never mind. Rewind that last sentence for a moment. That have you take a look. I mean, I know firsthand just how bad it can get out there, as we saw getting impaled on that spike and that mech controlling Kong to shoot me. So he's gonna need to understand that kind of stuff can happen at any moment, even if it's an ally turning on you against their own will.
There are
it's.
But this
easier
all
ways to teach that.
Right, but the kid's gonna be thrown into combat real shortly. Is what my fear is, and probably Frank's is as well. Kid gets thrown into combat not prepared, then we have a liability.
Well, there's prepared and there's beaten to a pulp.
I do fail to see how injuring his sight would allow him to be a more effective combat soldier.
That
Was
would
See,
be
even he agrees.
that would be the most likely the more father figure of Frank being exceedingly angry at Murr putting his own life on the line and taking things way too far.
Look at it this
That would
way.
be my assumption.
You spend your entire life working to do something horrific, protecting this son from something so destructive and soul destroying, to try and give him a life that you would never, to try and give him a life that no one has ever had in the past 30 years since Shiva, and to have that son willingly go and say, I reject your work, I reject your attempts to shelter me, and I choose the path of most resistance.
I just figured Murr was joining the Yakshas because he looked up to Frank and wanted to be like him.
That's probably true, but Frank Frank is from a different era. I don't pretend to understand what goes on in that head of his. In his mind, Mur is following in footsteps he wishes he had erased. That being said, I have a Ryota to go talk to, and, well.
Why don't we all go see Ryota?
Beat down, beat down, beat
Yes!
down.
You want to say the Yakshas all kick someone's ass? Well,
All
Here we
right.
fucking
Ryota
go.
gets to see that happen.
He gets front row tickets.
Hehehehe.
All right, but she
Beat
kind of
down,
nods and goes,
beat down.
I think that would be a good idea. If he's going to spread rumors about us, or if he didn't spread the rumors, he will know who did.
Well, we're gonna rewind a little bit first.
Yep, go
Well,
ahead.
as a thing, since I'm back, why don't you two go see him, and I'll look into it from the. And he looks down at Set, and it's
That's a
like,
good idea.
I'll look into it at the other angle.
I like it.
Speaking of the other angle, hey Stin, how good are you at blocking recording from cameras?
Oh shit, we're really doing this.
That would
aren't
need
we?
like a hack
Oh
roll
wait,
from
this is
somebody.
the guy that beat up a fucking cashier at CVS. What am I saying? Of course we're doing this.
Let's see. Well, because Set would be his own little AI. I mean, I have hack and fix, so I mean, I guess
I
yeah.
would
If Set
I would say yours because he's not a fully independent NHB. He still takes your orders.
he's one tier away. He's so close. He's mostly independent.
Even then, he's
Does-
on your character sheet, so he uses your stats.
Yeah. Let's see. It's not good enough for Methuselah. Not yet.
No, but that's good enough to where you don't like trip anything to where the ship's alerted to an intrusion.
We might have to go with physical means to block the cameras.
The set doesn't get iced out.
Let's go see what computer was doing. Well, like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, what Howler
We're
was
gonna
doing.
rewind, and you said you were looking for a nice, quiet place to talk to Methuselah.
Yeah. Hey Methuselah, you listening?
There's a moment before, like, just this, like, on like a console, you see like his avatar appear, this like very polygonal face.
There you are. I got a question.
I perchance have an answer.
Do they keep hard copies of the employee roster and information, or are you the only place I could find stuff out?
I am not certain. I do not keep tabs on the library's records. If you wish, I can put in a request for such information
I
with the
don't
library bot.
No, I don't need any formal requests. But I mean, you do know all the things that go on around here, right?
I am, in essence, the ship.
Okay. Now, what if I asked you random questions to find out things like, what's Mountain King's favorite color?
He thinks on that for a moment before he says, yellow.
Probably he does have a whole bunch of yellow ties. How long does it take Francois to make her famous bread pudding?
Discounting time to gather and prepare ingredients, and discounting baking period, 1 hour, 30 minutes average.
Discounting time to chat.
You're like a big search engine, aren't you?
I have several years worth of information to parse through.
Does every question that everybody asks you get logged somewhere, or is it just basically you answer it and you move on?
It is logged within my temporary memory
How long does that memory last?
until it is filled. At which point I parse through it, and anything that is not required for the continued function of the ship or that I deem necessary is discarded.
Ooh, that's a good stipulation. What do you deem necessary? I mean, random questions like the ones I asked you, they have no real consequence, do they?
They do not. I find the necessity of the ship being the continued performance of it, maintaining its function, as well as the health and safety of the crew.
Okay, what about, let's see, are you able to extrapolate just from the camera angles that you've seen everybody in for so many years, things like their measurements?
He thinks
Herbert,
on that for a moment. I believe I can, though this is not what I am programmed for.
Okay, what about Chief Engineer Laughlin? What are her measurements?
44, 23, 35.
I bet you can't get her shoe size too.
8.5 US women's.
Wow. Oh, I know you cheated. It's because you know all the information that people order for having things fabricated like clothing.
Indeed.
Oh, so you really didn't then extrapolate it. What about Gawain then?
I do not have any information on the new crew member named Gawain.
Okay. So yeah, you can't really extrapolate it easily. At least not until after several years. Cool.
I could potentially attempt to extrapolate, given any thinks for a moment. What are you attempting to measure? Height? Weight? Shoe size?
Um, I don't care. Give me weight.
I estimate him to weigh somewhere between 150 and 175 pounds.
Oh, that's pretty good. Sparring partner. Really, really would normally be outside of Indiana's fighting range if it weren't for the fact that Indiana's the badass. Cool. Um, and that's what he gets the call from. The message from Indiana and goes to have that last conversation.
Logging you out, Howler. And then his avatar disappears.
Okay, now we can skip forward to Ryota.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys go. And where else do you think you're gonna find him? Like,
He's
where do you
gonna be
think
in
you're gonna?
comms. He's gonna be in comms.
If
No,
he's
this is
not in
off
comms,
duty.
Oh no, he's
the
drinking.
lounge, anywhere he can get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's at the fucking
He's in
ship's
the
bar.
he's in the full salvo. Why is this music not working?
Probably sidle up to the bar right next
I
to
hear
him.
it.
Sit on a stool next to him. Probably look at the bartender. I'll take one. Well, please.
He looks over. He's actually a little surprised to see you, and he, up nods. He's got a completely different colored streak in his hair by now, and he's bleached it.
John will sit down on his other side and order a depth charge.
Kind of smiles though. He's like, well, suddenly I'm very popular.
Very popular.
He
looks over at
stops
Howler.
immediately and is like, I don't owe any of you money, but I know when there's a stick up.
No stick up.
Then why
We're
is he
we're
blocking
just
the door?
we're just friendly friends sitting down to have a drink and maybe talk with someone else who works with us.
You know.
He says this is tail, pats him on the back.
You know. Your popularity relies on two things. One, your roguish charm, and two, your tall tales. The taller, the better. Am I right?
I know when someone's fishing for questions. Why don't you just come out and say it? Save us both the time.
Either you or someone you know has spread rumors that it was Yaksha combat team that beat up Mur.
He sighs and kind of hangs his head, and he's like, okay, maybe I exaggerated a little bit, but all the information I had said that all of you were together at one point. I didn't know that you had split up after your time with the captain.
But you decided to run with it anyways?
He gets this fucking big fox smile, and he's like, "As you say, it's better to have a fun story than none at all."
Hmm.
I didn't expect people to run with it, though. I mean, sounds outrageous.
Question for you. Did you follow any of our exploits in New Orleans?
Depends on what you mean by exploits. As far as I know, you all were very good, law-abiding citizens.
But
But little birdies hear things.
that's very interesting. And if half of what those little birdies told you were true, what makes you think it was a good idea to spread, that misinformation about us?
It's always good to have everyone else looking over their shoulders. Makes them less likely to actually look for someone who might be. And he smiles at you specifically, Indiana. He goes, fishing for information.
I do a lot of that. My tackle
You do.
box. Yeah, she lifts the glass. This is my tackle box. And then splashes it on his face. And I've
Oh,
cast
he
my net.
sputters and like fumbles around, grabs like a cheapo bar napkin to like at least wipe his eyes off. Not the first time a woman's done that. Won't be the last.
But most likely the best.
To you,
Stands. What's that?
it's the most a woman's ever done to you in the first place.
No, she says
Oh,
most.
you're going, Indiana? I thought we were gonna, and that's when Howler, quote unquote, accidentally spills his entire drink on Ryota's lap.
This is monkey shines right now, but Ryota should be getting real scared because this is just the warm up, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's like,
That's why
I.
that's why I mentioned the CVS without mentioning the CVS.
Mm-hmm.
And just like starts swearing in Japanese.
He was so intoxicated, you could smell it all over him. We had to beat him up to settle him down.
No, but standing up, kind of. Is the bar empty? Just the bartender?
No, there's some people, and they're all like fucking like doing that thing where you're looking, but you're trying not to act like you're looking, but they're also laughing.
All
I
right.
want to point out this is definitely not helping
No.
our name because like that rumor of everyone beating up him and now we're all ganging up on Ryota when you guys are ganging up on Ryota.
We
How
didn't do
dare
any.
you
We didn't
tell?
do anything really bad to him.
No, we haven't done anything bad to him. Let's see here. Let's see. But probably stands and goes, probably pretty loudly. No, probably not. Just kind of standing, right there next to him. Taking a napkin off, helping him wipe his face. So, would you like another story to tell in place of lies?
He
Yeah.
looks at the three of you.
Truth is stranger than fiction.
Quite frankly, I'd
He
like to
says
get.
quietly after, sometimes more painful.
Quite frankly, I'd like to be as far, far away from you three as I can be.
Well, good. Maybe if. Hmm. Well, maybe if things quiet down, you will.
It's not like we don't already have bad press around here.
I was going to say, if you are going to create some bad press for us, what's a little more?
It might as well be the truth.
Looks at
At
you
the
guys,
wall.
he's getting that look where he's like, "Oh, I'm fucked."
Yes, you are.
You two make a great team. I didn't even need to come. I'm glad. I'm gonna do my own thing while you guys do that. Perfect.
When you catch a liar in their lie, he's got that look.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. If all right, I want to be as far away from possible as you guys. Great. So shut your fucking trap and we'll stay away. We hear any more rumors, guess who we're coming to? And that's the shitty thing about life. It could be anyone spreading those rumors, but who are we going to come to first?
Yeah, well, Just don't make those rumors true, huh? Don't gang up on a crew member, huh?
Of course
Pats-
not. Of course
pats him-
not.
Pats him on the back. I wouldn't gang up with anybody on anyone. I can fight my battles myself. If someone decides to tag along, well, that's their decision.
Hi.
I'm in
Oh,
danger.
look at the time. I think I'm going to go find some literature.
Well, that's good, because as soon as he leaves, Indiana's
Howler
gonna
will
let.
tussle his hair with his tail.
Oh, fucking hell! 'Cause
Okay, you run along.
I
Oh,
know
he
the
runs.
perfect way to make everyone forget this. Grabs her drink, her now empty glass from the bar, turns around, raises it, and in a loud voice, "Next round's on me, boys!"
Hey.
Oh yeah, everyone's like, hell yeah. And you see the bartender just start like leaning forward, taking notes, because like he's like, all right, this guy had this guy had this.
Yep.
God.
I may be broke at the end of the night, but that's okay, because I accomplished what I set out to do.
Yeah, Indiana was very effective today.
We put the fear of God into Ryota.
Yeah, and I love how like you're just like drinks on me, everybody. Like, and
Well-
some people will see that as a cheap band-aid on something that they might currently believe.
But
Other
others-
people will just go, "Hey, free drinks. These yakshas are all right."
Exactly.
Hey, you're all right.
All
Fucking
right, kid.
Rodney Dangerfield is actually part of the crew.
God.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, for some
So-
people it is a cheap band-aid. But
Yakshas.
also, even if it is a band-aid, booze is booze.
True.
And it's
I mean-
it's easier to remember things when you're blackout drunk.
Free
Or easier to
shit's
forget
free
things,
shit.
Pretty much.
While they're all doing that,
Go ahead.
sorry, there's something in my nose. I want to have a little discussion with Set.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, first saying, from now on, anytime you're not to mention the worm you have in Methuselah, and if someone that knows about it asks about it, you tell them I told you to delete it.
But you haven't.
You're
Well, I
teaching
have.
NHP to lie.
Hell
This is
yeah.
bad.
I have technically just said it now, so I have said it in front of you for you to delete the worm, but I also want you to keep it. So when someone asks if I told you to delete the worm, you can say, I did say to delete the worm.
He looked like it's hard to really. He doesn't have a facial expression.
Right?
On
The
this
whirring
robot
of
dog.
hard drives.
You do. He is struggling to comprehend what you're asking of him because, NHPs, comp cons, other forms of machine intelligence don't, they don't know what lying is.
Yeah.
They can't comprehend
Well,
lying.
that's why he phrased it in that way, because technically at this point it's no longer a lie. I did say delete the worm inside
Yeah,
Methuselah.
but you're still making him do some fucking leaps of logic there.
Nah.
He's like, I
Oh.
think I understand. You wish me to fabricate a story in which the worm was deleted, if
Exactly.
anyone asks.
Because technically that's something that some people might have an issue with. I don't. I think it's useful. And we are ultimately doing that to find if we can locate the spy amongst our ranks. Nope. So it is for a good cause, but some people might not like the idea of it.
You're lying to your own son.
No, this is the truth. We're ultimately doing this to find out the truth.
Nobody that was told about the worm has said there was a problem with you having the worm. But now you're telling Set to not tell the people that know that it exists because they might have a problem with it, even if they haven't.
You might later.
Lying to your own goddamn son, damn
But
it! Is
I also
this
don't want
any
him going
different than
around,
beating up Mur? I mean, it is, but...
Oh yeah, it is.
I don't
Hell
want him going
yeah.
around just
It
saying, I got a worm in Methuselah. So,
Especially saying that's like the captain, who's then like,
right.
Wait, this thing was
Okay,
made to be a
dude.
computer virus. Get it off my ship.
Yeah, I've got a worm and a Methuselah. Oh, do tell. Like,
Right.
Tell me more.
Really?
Tell me more.
Now,
Did you do this of your own
Crasher.
accord, or were you asked to do this? Sin told me to.
actually, I think he did it on his own.
He did it on his own.
yeah.
Who knows what else he's got on the ship?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason Kong's starting to like him. What? Anyway. uh, yeah, so I also am going to review some of the history of on Methuselah. Not like essentially first to see if there has been any updates onto any outgoing or ingoing communication that was attempted to be hidden, but also
Like,
any gossip. He wants the juice on what's going on.
Well, you are hearing about, some shit going down in the bar.
yeah, you are hearing some shit going down in the bar as you speak, but other than that, so you're trying to see if there's any communications going to or from the ship that are not supposed to be there?
Yeah, that are not like on regular open channels. Things that are being trying to be hidden. Any what's it called?
There was
Radio.
one. There was one call at this point, a couple weeks ago, and it was on the crew deck, and it was on an encrypted phone channel.
God damn it.
But that's all. That's all they know about it. They can't pinpoint where. They don't know who.
Any way I can like have him start looking into that, and any future calls.
Set, I swear to fucking God, if you find out anything, I will disconnect you.
He says this. Yes, he can try to learn more about it, but he probably can't, seeing how far ago it was, because then he's going to have to track down who was on the crew deck at this time, and then he doesn't know where. He has he knows it was on this deck of the ship. He doesn't know where in the ship.
Just keep pretty much an ear out for any future communication that is not done on a normal open channel, and see if if I'm there to see if I can eavesdrop on it.
Oh, and you would say that the number station has switched numbers. A
Oh, the
while
one
ago, it switched numbers.
really?
The one
Uh,
currently jamming, yes.
why don't you give me that new list of numbers?
Well, I thought you changed the numbers.
Oh, right, we did, didn't we? I forgot about
Well,
that.
it's the new set of numbers. I think you were. No, did they? No, they didn't. No, they don't know what that says.
No, they don't know.
I thought I did.
I
Remember
You
doing
don't
that?
know what the new numbers are. You know about the 4th of July ones. These are completely different sets of numbers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll have them forward those to me. Is it the same encryption?
This is going to be a different one. This one's much more encrypted, but what you do seem to, just from looking at it, seems that this was a very, very important thing that not everyone that heard the numbers was supposed to understand. This is like encryption within encryption.
So it's an encryption of something that might be saying, yesterday I went to the mall and had a great time and ordered an apple juice. And that's actually an encryption of 2
Yeah,
weeks ago I met John in the barber shop, which is an encryption of we're gonna bomb this place tomorrow.
pretty much.
Not bomb. Run away.
Run away!
But
Yeah.
yeah. There's not anything else. I think we will flip on over to the 4th.
All right.
Fucking great.
It's the 4th of July. You guys are outside of Washington, D.C., which is just as patriotic as it can be, with its American flag with only 13 stars on it. Oops, they lost quite a few.
Oh no.
But yeah, and you see like all kinds of people are going into DC for the celebration and stuff. Like you could just see from the Calliope, it's drawn a big crowd.
Do you need me to move over?
Not yet. I was just going to say, what all are you guys do? Because the captain has told, like, well, she probably does gather all of you early in the morning, like reverie hours, and basically explains that she wants all of you. She wants you guys in town trying to figure out what's going to happen, and just playing damage control if you have to. But she's going to stay on the ship and play captain.
Okay.
Sounds
Well,
good.
I'm gonna spend most of my time invisible.
And she's also going to ask for all of your permission that if shit goes south and something, and you guys are away from the Calliope and something comes after the Calliope, that she can basically get anyone who knows how to pilot a mech into your mechs.
Ooh.
Just as like a, if shit gets bad, just so that we have bodies out there.
Well, if that's the case, does that mean Frank's still on house arrest?
No, this is the fourth. She basically said for a
that's
couple
right.
days he's on house arrest.
I
So
don't think
can't leave his
I don't
room.
know. I imagine we're all in this room together and just been told that and kind of looking at each other like, what?
Yeah, Frank's like, you're wanting someone to get in the ogre?
As a precaution in case something happens. If you guys are all away, I don't think I can rely on 6 drones in order to protect the ship.
Can't the NHPs run them?
You would
Not
have to leave
mine.
them here. Basically saying you can't take Set or King with you if that's the case.
Frank's gonna
I can leave
say,
him here. He's a good boy.
yeah, Frank's gonna say, I can't have anyone in my mech.
She nods, like this is very much her just asking for permission.
Set has to set it. I can't. Well, I can take set out, but he'd be in a thermos. It'd be kind of useless. So he would be remaining anyways. So, I mean, worst case scenario, set can work on coordinating the other NHPs together, with or
And
without a pilot. I know Kong is a lot more intelligent, so the two of them could probably work together on,
Yeah, and King understands the
or
chain
King,
of
not Kong.
command too.
Yeah.
Gawain nods and is like, an Artio can control the Green Knight without me. She can't leave it.
That can
So
take his orders from King, and he can give orders to the any other NHPs. He's adept at handling multiple drones at once. So worst case scenario, even with or without a pilot, they could probably make do. But if a pilot can get set to do it they want him to do, good luck. Otherwise, they're probably going to just be stuck in a cockpit without being able to do anything.
I'm not sure what I feel about someone taking over Sala. However, if necessary, that is fine. Just not Ryota.
No, Rail
no.
ain't allowed in any of them.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. I wouldn't let him anywhere near these. I met someone competent.
Okay.
Ah,
Good.
I'll tell you what.
Have the things quieted down since we talked with Ryota?
A little bit. Your rumor's gone away.
Well, that's good.
People are
You could,
still. The crew seems to have completely soured on Frank.
that's fine.
And there's nothing we can do about that, quite honestly.
Yeah.
He's gonna have
No,
to fix
Frank-
that himself.
Frank kind of knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
you could totally put Greasy in my mech. Set would listen to Greasy.
Ha!
I think Mandy knows Sala better than just about anyone here. Probably even me.
The fact
Oh,
that I
she's
just recommended Greasy.
the cat. Oh my god, can you imagine Greasy in a fucking mech?
Oh my
Hell
god.
Imagine
yeah!
it after.
Here's some war crimes.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna quote the Warren Commission word for word while doing this too. Set's gonna
Yeah.
learn today.
Hell yeah! I can feel the sweat dripping down my back towards my fat ass crack. This is gonna be good.
Jesus. Yeah, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
Galwin's like,
just
hold on for a moment though. What about today's got you all so scared?
remember the 4th of July when Kairos burned down DC.
Really
Come
killed him here,
again.
haven't they?
Would
Are you
expect
daft?
We're expecting
walking-
a terrorist attack. Good intel.
We're walking straight into something that we really shouldn't be walking into, but we're Yakshas. It's what we do.
Mur's here. I forgot about that. What is
Yeah,
Yeah,
Merce,
and-
Merce there. He's being very quiet, but
Yeah,
he's in like
Frank-
full gear now, and he basically
Yeah.
looks like a Titanfall pilot, but without a helmet on.
Yeah, Frank has not talked to Mur. This is the first time he's been in the same room with Mur since that happened, and
Mer's on the
he's-
complete opposite side of the table and hasn't looked at you at all.
no, and I haven't looked. He hasn't looked at Mur
Adorable.
either. Like you guys can kind of feel the tension.
Christ, and I'm guessing it being a civilized city and all that are not going to be going in our big boys.
Nope.
So we're going to be on foot.
Yep.
Give
And you
him
know
a
the
look.
bad guys ain't going to be on foot, right? They're going to
Yep.
have all sorts of bodies.
Hey,
Kinda
Scotty.
turned to look at him and goes, we're just having a conversation about having other people in our mechs.
Yeah, that's why it's like, and judging by that, we're not going to be in our mechs, but they're gonna be.
Hey, Scotty. Shut
Right?
up. We fucking know.
Ooh.
All right, if anyone's going to insult my ward, it's going to be me. That
Okay,
being
then
said,
insult your ward, please.
no.
I love it.
He mumbles something under his breath.
Yeah, Frank fucking flicks a cigarette into an ashtray and lights another one.
You're close enough to hear what he said in the end. It's like, at least my parent doesn't beat me.
Ooh. There's a moment, and actually, probably under the table, she does stamp his foot. Like, not enough to break anything, but does stamp his foot.
Oh, he's got fucking combat boots on. He feels it enough to know that you did it.
Yeah.
But he
Just
does
kinda
give you this look.
shoot him a sideways look, like, not now. All right. Okay, so we go out there, we spend the day in the ceremony, pretend to act like normal, except for me because I'll be invisible. Look out for anything bad, which is going to probably be there. And then when shit hits the fan, do our best to, well, damage control. Whether that's putting ourselves in between civilians, or otherwise, we're going to do what we can to thwart this.
Good. The captain nods and is like, while you're out, kind of points to Murray. He's like, see if you can't find something for our newest boy.
Done.
Yeah, you
Kind
guys.
of looks over at him. I think we can find something.
Yeah, you guys have time. You get out. You
Are we
approach
allowed to be in
DC.
our? Are we allowed to be in our combat gear?
Yeah. Well, here's the
Okay.
thing. Like, you guys get up there, and like, there's some cops that wrote like they're MPs. They even have like MP on their helmet and all that. And like, they see you coming up, and like one was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Hold on, boys and girl." And the
I'm
other
in-
one's just like,
oh, I'm
"Oh my
invisible."
fucking god! Oh, you're invisible.
I'm
Okay.
invisible. Yeah, do you think I'm really
Yeah,
gonna walk
just-
up with a giant fucking sword on my back?
Yeah, I immediately pull out my Yaksha papers and just be like, Yakshas, fuck off. Which is his standard line when talking to cops.
Yep.
He takes them and looks at him, and he's about to let you go when the other one's like, "Well, you fucking stupid! Check for their infection papers."
I'm
Frank pulls out his infection papers, rolling his eyes like, are you fucking kidding me?
And this
Like,
other cop's like, "Yeah, right," and looks him over. And he's like, "You're good. You're good." You know. Then he waves you all, and he's like, "Just don't cause any trouble, okay? Shit's busy
As-
enough already."
as he's checking our papers, I just want to be like, what? He knew?
The other guy nods, and he's like, "FNGs."
Yeah, I lean up real close to the guy and I'm just like, got a piece of advice for you. Quit your job.
I mean, he's gonna want to quit his job after today if he's not fucking dead.
Yep.
That's fair.
Actually, when you're leaning close, can you give me like a perception roll if you have something like that? If not,
I
just a
can
flat d20.
Yeah, I can just roll a d20. Eh.
He's infected.
I lean in I say, quit your job. I lean back. And then I'm like, shit, what would Frank say? Frank would be like, yeah, pretty fantastic day celebrating 4th of July and all, you know. Real patriotic. And I'm looking dead at this guy.
You can tell that he knows you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, a lot of people though. A lot of people asking dumb questions too. Let's
Oh,
get
am I
inside.
asking? I'm like, oh, I'm asking dumb questions. And I just like look at his cop buddy and go, good luck, bud. And then I just walk by and I like nod towards him where Indiana is like invisible at. You know what I mean? Like I give the look towards kind of like the back as if I'm just kind of checking over my shoulder, but I nod towards the guy.
All right.
Oh, and he's giving you that look that's like, you know too much. Watch your back.
I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
follow this cop.
I'm watching my back, front, sides, up and down, motherfucker.
Yeah, you guys go, and this guy, after a few minutes, he plays it cool. He's smart enough to not immediately be like, "Oh, I need to go for a second. You know?
Yeah.
But I guess what? Invisible. I'm gonna follow.
Yeah.
him.
So
So,
you wait, and he's like, he says he's gonna go to the bathroom. The other guy's like, "Why are you fucking telling me? You want me to hold your hand? Just go." And he goes. You follow him. Goes towards the bathrooms, and slips around and goes into an alleyway. And he pulls out a phone and starts talking on it.
I'm listening.
Yeah. No. One knows, I think. No, no one believe him. We're good. Keep going as it is.
As soon as he hangs up the phone, I kill him.
Yeah, you fucking just pull out your sword and kill this guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're near a bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because then I'm gonna put him in the bathroom stall and lock it.
All right.
I love
Do you do anything else than just stab him?
Oh no, I probably take his head off.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, you see the distinct little trails of wispy smoke coming off him as all the Zinnerite that was, like, open
fuck.
extrusions break down.
Yep, immediately put on mask, grab his head by his hair, grab his hat, grab his body by the back of his collar, drag it into the bathroom, put the head in the toilet, and then put the body on top of the toilet.
Wow.
Disrespect.
And, yep, lean him back, take his phone, and we're going to take a look at that number he just called.
It's just some number. It's a burner phone, by the looks of the number.
All right, take out my phone and call. Oh crap! Did we bring Set or no?
No, Set's
shit.
back in the ship.
You know, the one day you need a trace.
We have a Omni hook.
Oh,
Yeah, you do have an
shit,
Omni.
we do. All right.
Yeah, just bring it to me.
Who's got the Omni hook?
I do.
Murr has one and
I have one.
Hunter has one.
Take this to a fucking someone with an Omni hook. Yep. Come back to probably. I mean, Murr and or Set, they can work on it together. Not Set.
I mean, they're both there together. They're
Yep.
still walking together.
And come up and say, "All right, I have a phone. I'm going to need a trace."
That sounds like your deal.
I'll hook that thing up. So
What are
just
you
have-
looking for specifically? Where the phone that he called is?
Pretty much. What can
yeah.
the Omni hook do exactly?
It just broadcasts to the ship, essentially. It's basically like internet anywhere. So that would give
Yeah.
us like instantaneous communication with Set, probably, right?
Yeah, portable, if bulky, OmniNet terminal that allows for communication, data transfer, and limited hotspotting. Omni hooks are extremely valuable, although most mech squads have at least one. Tuning an Omni hook requires a high level of skill, so they are usually mounted or carried by designated operators.
me.
So I imagine it's like those World War II radio packs,
I've been imagining it.
Probably.
but and you see
But-
that Murs kind of fits funny because he also has jets on his back.
Ah, yes.
He's got the hip mount module.
So, Okay, but probably go and look and say, well, get in touch with Seth. I need a trace.
And pretty quickly, Set would get back that this phone call came from within Washington, D.C., like
Well, yes.
in the area.
And goes, all right, if I call it, can you trace the location of the receiver?
I can attempt to. Depends on how long they talk.
I will keep them talking then.
Call the
And
phone number,
yep, call the phone number.
rings a couple times, picks up, and it's like, what? You didn't do something else stupid, did you?
Stupid. What do you
What?
mean? Oh, sorry.
Who
think,
is this?
Who what? Oh, shit. Must have been a
This
wrong
is
number, but
Sergeant
hey,
Smithson Johnson.
this isn't,
You
shit,
found the phone on the
it's not a-
ground. Like Frank's like, you found the phone on the ground.
I just found this. Do you know who this belongs to?
Yeah, someone that's not you. Now, I suggest you go and put that back before I find you and I kick your ass.
Well, I'm right here at the intersection of,
Fuck and
let's
you.
see.
Yeah, Frank is like in the
know-
background. Fuck and you. That's real cool to say.
No, all right. There's a Jack in the Box on this corner. There's a Starbucks on the other. That's pretty. You can find that, right?
Oh, wise guy. Listen, I'm trying to trace your call, buddy. You better hope I don't find you.
Okay. I think I would love to drop the act right now. Oh, actually, I can help you with that. It's right next to the beheaded body that I made to grab this phone.
Frank
Yeah?
very loudly goes, "Oh, ice cold."
Yeah?
Now,
Stay in town. Things will get fun for you.
what does that mean?
Dickhead.
What does that mean? Fun. I'm kind of curious now.
Oh, you'll find out.
Well, it's
Hope
gonna
you like
say,
fireworks.
what the hell's an infected pretending to be a cop for? That's kind of weird.
He hangs up immediately.
Long enough for you?
After a moment, Set's like, I traced within the district of the town that he's in, at the very least. He's
Well,
within basically the area of like the Capitol building.
He's basically at Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're not doing this at the White House. We're going to do this at Capitol Hill. I actually have personal knowledge of Capitol Hill. Some pretty extensive personal knowledge of Capitol Hill. So I know exactly where I want to go. She's probably going to turn, still invisible and go.
James begins sweating intensely.
I've never been to DC.
So there is a beautiful little alcove not far from Capitol Hill at all. Basically, before air conditioning was a thing, it was this little stone area that has running water near it, and it does a great job of cooling things off. And it's the 4th of July, so it's fairly hot, I'm sure. And
Oh,
so I'm just gonna go hang out at the little cooling spot, where all the congressmen used to go to take a break. But that being said, she's gonna look and go, all right, I'm going to go see what I can find. If you guys, we need to get somebody a mech, she says, invisibly nudging Mur, so he can be a full bird Yaksha. You guys have fun with that? And might I suggest something with flames before, leaving?
He snorts. Now that he's inside and the guy doesn't need to look at like papers, he puts his helmet on. So now he does fully look like a fucking pilot. Because no one's going to really ask questions. They'll be like, oh, it's a Yaksha.
Yep.
Or some kind of merc.
Yep.
Yeah, Frank's gonna look down at Mur and be like, "We getting you a mech?"
Ooh.
Points down the road a little bit and he's like, there's a frame shop there.
He's like, "Let's roll." Kind of like adjusts his glasses and starts walking towards the shop with Mur.
Are you two going to go with him or are you going to go do your own things here in town?
I think I need to do, so I'll probably
Howler
go
will
with him.
ask, is there like a uniform shop around there? Because you're looking a little generic there, kid.
Got the
Stops
CVS
and
on the
looks at
corner.
you with this blank, like just the blank visor on his helmet. He's like, was the best I could do in short notice. And it's the only mobility suit we had on the ship.
Well, if they can make clothes for politicians, they can probably make clothes for anyone around here. I'll take a look.
Frank chuckles at that.
What about you, Sin?
I don't really have any plans, so you'll probably just go with Frank and Murr to help pick out a mech.
Hell yeah.
Would love to pick out mechs.
Yeah, you guys get into the store, and there's a guy running it, and the AC's broken in this store, and this guy's like fucking dying because this is like a big store, so
Mhm.
it holds a lot of heat.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have like the frames are in the shop, so you have like mechs, not up to the size of Kong. You think if they have any Barbosas, they probably keep those out back because those are hard to store because those are fucking huge.
Yeah, Frank comes in the door, gets hit with the heat wave, and immediately goes, Jesus! It's like fucking South America in here. Thought we left that shit.
Yeah, and this guy's like, "Oh, thank God, customers! I had a point to be here today. Uh, welcome to Downey's Discount Death. Do you have an idea of what you want with this?"
I look at Murr. Just, he's going to be the one who's doing this,
Yeah, Mur walks up and he's like to look at your catalog from or what did I call him? 1 second, because I know they have a weird name. I like to look at your Faladay Bellevue robotics catalog. He's like, I see. You see a young man here is likes some good shit. Yeah, you wouldn't know how many people come here immediately are like, oh, Daniel Group Armament.
And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, actually, yeah, I look at Murr and I just actually don't say anything. I just nod approvingly. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd
he's
pilot
like,
one of those mechs.
it's like, well, we got here a morning cloak, and he's like showing off all these mechs that are like in their own little stands, basically, and it has like a readout of their different specifications, as well as like a little commercial that's playing from Faladay Bellevue Robotics, where it's like, here at FBR, we strive for the highest in scientific technology, and like
I look,
little
yeah, I look at the guy and I'm just like, you know what FBR stands for, right?
Faladay Bellevue Robotics.
Fucking big robot. And I get
Kind of
like this
laughs at
big
that,
grin. Yeah.
and Mur's like standing at a mech specific. He's like making it go through all of the commercials for it and all that. He's like,
Mhm.
oh, that one, yeah, we just got that in a couple weeks ago. It's a next gen Black Witch. It's got a full subjectivity sync in it and everything. Pretty high class stuff. We even got the plug suit for it.
That one, get that one, get that one, Murr. Get it.
Plug suit.
It's for the full subjectivity sync. It's a
No, I know what a plug suit is. Kind of just sits there, nods, and kind of kneels next to Murr. Kind of like looks at the thing and is like, "It's the
which I have a
one."
picture of. Let me get his mech out for you guys to see.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So yeah,
He,
Oh, go ahead.
he looks at it, nods after one, and is like, yeah, feels right.
Sure. Plug suit's a bitch and a half.
Yeah, and the guy goes, I will say, with these
Shut up,
subjectivity
shut up,
syncs,
shut up. We're talking. And I look at Murph, like, with, like, the intent, like, you sure?
he
Excited to
nods.
let him talk to
And this
me.
guy just looks over to like you, Sin, and
Yeah.
Gawa. He's like, all right, someone who's not jackass. With these
I
full
let him tell me the
subjectivity
specs.
syncs, I have to warn you, though they do come with nociceptor dampening technology, being able to perceive the mech as your own body can have side effects, especially if you get, shot, blown up, lose a part.
Yeah. I stand up and I look
Broken
at Murr because he's the
nose.
one making the purchase.
And Mur's like, yeah, I'll take it now. You guys like, okay, you know this is and he like rattles off some absurd number. It's like 250 million chefs or something like that.
Hey. The guy said that he'll take it. Now put a fucking bow on it.
He looks and then like he's like, fine. And does the whole car salesman thing. You have to sign off on all this shit. And
Murr's
Is-
signing all of his own papers, and if
Yeah,
he needs a
he's signing his
cosign, I
own
got it. But that's it.
and he looks at like the other three. He's like, "You got 3 witnesses. I think this is good." And then like is stunned when Murr like pulls out his phone, does it a little bit, and like gives him a bank transfer. And he's like, "You had the fucking money on you. God, you don't know how good that feels. Usually it's some jackass with a bank loan."
Yeah, I look at Sin, just like the most proud father look in my eyes, like fucking, just like for a second, slight grin, and then he looks back at the counter.
You know, he's like, "Now we'll take a couple of days in order for this thing to get charged up and ready, as well as to make sure that all the tech's still working in it. It's been sitting here for a while, not used. But you got a place where I can send this thing once it's ready, or do you want to come and pick it up yourself? You'll have a temporary permit to have this thing in city limits.
Uh, Work at half capacity.
Unfortunately, not. You know, we have to make sure that it can actually charge all the way to full, and make sure that its graviton generators as well as its magnets are all working.
I'm not talking about regulations. I'm talking about does it work at half capacity?
Looks around. He's like, "Didn't hear it from me, but I think I could get to work like that. That'd still be about a day."
Nods and goes,
I could stick
right.
around and give him a hand.
Yeah, I give him my phone number, and I'm like, right, whenever you got her working, and I actually give him an extra, like, probably just like, I don't know, like couple hundred chevs, or not couple hundred. I guess it'd be a couple thou, because chevs are more like yen.
Yeah,
Um,
chefs are like dimes, so
yeah.
technically
So
one place.
yeah, I basically give him like $1,000 worth, and I'm like,
Mhm.
give us a call whenever she's ready.
He nods. And he's like, "Yeah," and he looks to you, and he's like, "Unfortunately, can't have you fucking with the mech's hoss, especially since well, we did have someone do that once, and turns out they were siphoning the thorium out of the reactors. So company policy."
Don't worry, I'll get my hand on it afterwards.
Murr gives you this look. You can't really tell what look it is under the visor, and he's like, "If I let you."
We're gonna soup this thing up.
Take fucking ownership, dude.
Get some
Mm-hmm.
flames on it. Mm.
No flames. This
I
is
see.
my mech, and I don't want it to look like a cheap old drag racer.
Well, we
Wow.
could at least power up the systems, make them a little more functional. I think
Yeah, the only
that'd be
worst
fun.
thing you could put on is like a fucking crane or something.
Like he's looking over. He's looking over like the specs where he's like, if we soup this thing up enough, it could hit as hard as Kong can, but in the systems instead of physically.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying let's not touch it until we at least get it. I don't want you overcharging its magnet generators and ending up all the other mechs are stuck to it in the bay.
Yeah, and I think at this point, like we're walking out, he's just rambling to Murr like about the things he can do. This, like, if we take out this system entirely, we can amp that mag,
It,
direct
just
it into a directional pole.
send as your combat partner. Drop it.
Well, if we power it up enough, you won't have to drop anything.
I'm about to drop you.
Attaboy.
Oh,
He shrugs, he's
Yeah.
like, all right, whatever you say.
I like reach down to tussle Murr's hair, realize that A, he's wearing a helmet, and B, that's an old thing. He kind of stops and kind of, just kind of nudges him on the shoulder,
And he does wince away from you when you touch him like that,
Yeah.
but luckily for you, he didn't see you going for the head because he doesn't have full field of view with the
Yeah.
helmet on. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna cut away, and as he's like, "No, think I'm gonna keep with the theme, and I'm gonna name it Wise Man.
Goes, I think that's a fitting name. Probably a little more fitting to the duo than Ogre.
Doesn't say anything, and we're gonna cut away to John, who you do find not far away. This is like a military surplus store that's like, we sell everything: uniforms, hard suits. You know,
Good. I'm just looking to see if they have anything that would be good for Mur to use that isn't like generic, or at least can be modified properly to make him distinct.
oh yeah, they have a much nicer mobility hard suit.
Good, good. And then after that, I'd ask the guy who's running the place if he knows any place around that does custom leather goods.
It's probably this older guy. He looks like a salty war dog. He's got fucking navy tattoos all down both of his arms. Big guy, but starting to kind of lose the muscle with age. He's like, yeah, there's a kind of thing that there's a leather worker slash tailor shop it's about a couple blocks off of Capitol Hill. Actually, if you go just west of there, and he like gives you the name of the place. It's
Yeah,
called like Leather or Not, Here I Come, or something like that.
gotcha. And he'll take the car to the place that he was, so he can give it to Merle, so he can shop
Mm-hmm.
and head to the leather works.
All right. Yeah, you head there. It's a bit of a walk. You're walking across a fair part of DC, and place is packed. Like there are all sorts of people around here for the celebrations, and there's also a lot of police presence to try and keep those people in line.
Yep, quote unquote those people.
Oh, and there's a lot of police. You actually probably pass by like the gates to the infected quarter, and they're making sure no one gets out
Yeah,
or in, but
yeah,
more.
they're abusing the rockheads. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're not doing anything right now, but they're
Wow,
like
rockheads.
these aren't regular cops. These are like SWAT officers in full gear.
Yeah, I'm just coming up with names that the freaking cops would probably call them behind their backs.
Yeah, Rockhead and Rockface are pretty common insults to infected.
Classy. Never heard that one before.
Yeah, you get to Leather or Not.
Yep. What kind of
Look
stuff
for-
is around the shop?
Oh, you got a very nice like French bistro next to it, and
No,
then
I mean inside the shop. What kind of
oh,
items
sorry,
do they have?
all sorts of things from like leather handbags to like pretty much anything you could think of that would need leather, as well as a lot of stuff that uses heavier uh, cloths. So like stuff that you would wear in the cold that's uh, waterproof, so that like snow would slick off, like Carhartts and stuff like that. Except this is all like custom made.
Cool, cool. And I'll definitely ask. Okay, so you make things according to measurements, right? Just straight. Well, it's not fabricated because it's leather.
Yeah, and the woman behind the counter nods. She's like, "Mm-hmm, we do. We pride ourselves on it. We've been doing that since 1973."
Ah, that's great. And since you're in D.C., I'm sure you're used to dealing with, politicians and the type of people politicians keep for friends.
Gives you a very strange look at that. But it's like, uh-huh. And are you also wanting their discretionary policy? Because that's extra.
Yes. Yeah. I'll pay the extra for that. Discretion is important.
She knows, like, well, then, my patron, what can I do for you?
Okay. My next question is, when an item is completed, do you actually deliver it, or does someone have to come pick it up again?
We have options for both. We have drone-based delivery to anywhere within 10 miles of DC, as well as you being able to come and pick it up personally.
What about a giant fuck off aircraft carrier on tank treads?
It basically said, what about that huge aircraft carrier that's a little bit south of DC right now. It's within 50 miles.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Not sure where I'd put it on that thing, but we could bring it over there.
Great, great. So, I know approximately what I want, and he begins to describe in detail the things he wants to get, and he even adds in a pair of shoes that don't have to be custom if at least they look good. They're heels, of course, and
Mhm.
gives him the dress size of Mandy.
Yeah, and she gets the measurement. She's like, "Whoa, that's some woman."
Yeah, well, you should actually meet her. She's some woman, definitely.
This is inspiring. I love this.
So I try to flirt with a girl and I get called like, ah. And then
Do
he's
you
like,
know the difference
get it.
between a hunter and Howler right now, though?
Howler stalked the girl,
Class.
got her measurements, and then is now buying a dress for her without
Yeah, I
any
was about to say
anything.
I'm on Sin's side.
Hold
I
on,
like
not
this.
Class.
exactly a dress, but just look into Yakshas channel.
God,
Class.
I am definitely on Sin's side
You
on this
hit on
one.
you hit on people and made them feel uncomfortable, and then continued to hit on.
You don't
people.
know how she's gonna react when she gets this. She
Oh,
might
no.
be like,
True, true.
Don't put your
"I'm gonna
name,
kick
Howler. By the
your
way,
ass."
don't put your name on this. Just in case.
Of course
Send
not. That's why he's asking for the discretion,
send
and also for delivery.
Sin hit on the
God.
girl, and then she was like playfully like, no, she wasn't like gross, get the fuck away from me. So he just kind of like kept at it
No,
as like a
it was
playful,
just
not
also
actually hitting on her.
the joke that like you're like, and all night Sin hits on everyone on the crew.
He
Hey,
did
hey,
not.
hey.
Though.
Eventually, people would be like, "This is obnoxious. Can you stop?"
He only hit on that one girl. That was it.
I thought he hit on at least someone
No,
else.
I thought you hit on 2 women. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I
it's
thought
just
there
that
were
one.
two.
Yeah, I thought you hit on the one who ran the red line. I thought you also hit on Jalen or whatever.
Yeah, made a joke about the other one, but he's just mainly
Hmm.
just flirting with the red line
Oh,
girl.
you're just making fun of them. I see. So much better. Yeah, you hit on Savannah. I thought you also hit on Jira.
Well, now I feel slightly bad. I'm sorry.
I don't
You're
feel bad
both
at all.
equally bad. How about that?
What? I didn't do anything.
Not you, not you. Sin and Howler.
But
God.
Howler doesn't ever have to own up to it if there's a problem.
Yeah.
Fair. He's being a bit more
Subtle.
thoughtful in that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get all of that done, and she charges you what it is. It's on the pricier side of things.
Yep, yep. Just an arm and half a leg.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
The half of the leg comes from the discretion fee. But yeah, that's what she's going to do for you. And does anyone else have something they want to do in town, or are you all going to meet back up? Because there's like a parade ground where people are like, "Oh, sit here and we're going to have a big parade to celebrate the 4th of July." And then on Capitol Hill, the president is going to come out and make a speech.
Frank
do I
is
find
going-
anything? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say Frank is gonna buy both Sin and Myrrh some ice cream. Be like, it's probably gonna be our last day on Earth, most
So
likely.
dad of you.
Yeah, he's like, this is probably gonna be our last day on Earth, so I figured a little bit of rocky road couldn't hurt. What kind of ice cream you want, Myrrh? Don't answer that. I know it's strawberry.
Actually, roll me a World's Greatest Dad.
Actually,
Ooh.
yes, that's a great idea.
I was like, this is the
Um,
moment for the World's Greatest Dad roll.
This is absolutely a world's greatest dad roll. Um,
Damn!
Yeah!
You bagged the shit out of these two.
Is it strawberry for Myrrh?
It is.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
You had it dead right, and
Yeah.
he's still being very distant, but you can tell that he's like begrudgingly like, well, I can at least
Fine.
act like I don't hate this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Scale of 1 to get myself beaten up. I really want to make a joke that's just like, "Oh, you gonna beat me up too?"
Wow.
Oh, if you did, Frank would like legit be like, "Cool, no ice cream."
No.
For anyone,
Like,
fuck you.
Mur
See ya.
would probably just take out his trench shovel and hit you on the back with it.
Good.
Not like
Yeah.
hard, but
Bond
hard enough to
together.
be like, stop it.
Yep,
They could
bonding
bond
through
together over
hatred.
beating
God
me.
damn it!
I would bond them through beating me.
God.
This is a Gray family. It works.
Sen, what kind of ice cream you want?
What kind of ice cream would Sin like?
Vanilla.
Hmm. I just because I hate it so much, I think it's evil. Red velvet.
Yeah. He gets some probably like scoops of it because like he doesn't want to fucking do the whole ice cream cone get like melted in your hand sort of thing. Actually, no, that's super Frank. Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
gets ice cream cones,
I
double
was about to say,
stack.
I better get a fucking ice cream cone. Like, hold
Yeah,
up.
no.
And the fucking like just squeaky faced teenage guy running the thing is
Yeah.
super intimidated because 3 guys in fucking combat gear just fucking walked up to him and wanted ice.
Yeah, he
Yes,
just
sir,
is like,
here's your ice cream, sir. Don't kill me, sir.
He's
Yeah,
like,
he's just-
here's your ice cream, sir.
he's like, I appreciate that. Hey, you listen to Skinnerd? As I'm like giving ice cream to the other two.
Oh,
I don't
Ah,
know you,
he's too-
sir.
you're
Nobody's
too
listened
young
to
for
Leonard
Skinnerd, ain't
Skinner
you?
since like the 90s.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
about to
that
say.
actually is. He's like, sir, no one's listened to Leonard Skinner in over 30 years.
You saying I'm no one?
Oh
Yeah.
no,
I'm just, hey kid, I'm just fucking with you. It's fine. And like pays him and fucking gives him a tip in the tip jar. And Frank is spending his personal money pretty freely. Like
Yeah.
he pays for it and then he puts like $100 worth in the tip jar.
And this other
What?
guy who's like,
You put $100 in the tip jar.
Yep.
the other guy who's like doing the ice cream and not like the front end stuff in this little like ice cream truck thing.
Mm-hmm.
He starts like fumbling with you, and this guy looks around. He's like, "Dude, just shut up."
But he's kind of scary, man.
I love these two guys. They're great. I hope they
Zoink.
survive. Yeah, no, in Frank's head, his thought is, God, these guys are idiots. I hope they survive. Like,
Like, oh, thanks, Dad.
yeah, no problem. Doesn't react. He just says, no problem.
Mer just takes his ice cream and nods, and he kind of, is all of them in cones?
All of them are in cones.
He's like, probably a good thing I'm wearing gloves.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you're gonna have to wash the gloves after. I got some leather polish if you need it.
Did you get anything for Gawain? Because he's with you.
Oh, Gawain's with us? Shit! Of
Yeah.
course I get something for... I'm like, Gawain, what do you want?
He doesn't have his standard issue invisibility suit.
No, he's got it. What? I think he has like a assault hard suit. It's either assault or a heavy hard suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. He went the
Salty.
normie route.
I just don't
Alright.
use it.
Yeah, I'm like,
Well,
what do
he's
you
good
want?
looking, so I'll give him a pass.
But
Mhm.
yeah, you're like, what do you want? He looks very embarrassed to admit that. He's like, rainbow sherbet.
I'm like,
That's
what are you
Aww.
embarrassed about? Mango sherbet. Man can't enjoy a little fruit? We're gonna get a mango sherbet as well.
fucking mango sherbet. That sounds fucking
Yeah, and-
great.
He takes and he's like, appreciate it. I'll soon as I get paid, I'll pay you back.
No. Listen, Scotty, here's the thing. It's a
Scott.
gift. We might die today. And I'm saying this like loudly in front of these guys, like these two ice cream guys. I'm like, we might die today. Might as well go out with something sweet on our tongue, yeah?
Do I call the manager? Just shut up.
He gave us 100. Like,
Yeah, he is
Well,
like,
I mean, think about it.
give
These
us
kids,
1,000 chefs. Just shut your fucking mouth, dude. I'm talking about someone dying. I don't fucking care for 1,000 chefs. They can die.
you know, I imagine this guy at the front is probably like 16 or some shit, and just
Yeah.
way out of his depth. This is
Very
the second
much.
week of my first job, man.
yeah. I actually look at these guys and I'm like, how much you guys make in a week?
Minimum plus tips.
Uh-oh.
I pull out 1,000 chefs for each of them. And James, I'm just gonna say, after DC, Frank is gonna be broke with spending money, right? Like this is,
They
this
about
is
fucking like faint when you're just
yeah.
handing them this much money.
And I'm like, listen, guys, is your boss an asshole?
She's kind of, and then he's like, "Ah, dude, she's a bitch."
Ah, know that story. Ditch this ice cream truck. Get out of the town for a day. You know, bring some friends too.
Preferably by tonight. I would highly
Mm.
recommend you get out by tonight. Highly.
I just
And
said live now. You got the good money, leave.
yeah, and I'm looking at all of them, and I like hold up a hand. And I'm like, heard that there's a really nice lake, a little bit outside of town. Catch a ride out there. Do some fishing. Trust me, it's good for your health. Kind of give him a smile.
Isn't that where you shut up?
Yeah, and I'm like, gentlemen, have a great day. And I like start leading our merry gang of fucking mercenaries.
Yeah, and everybody's eating their ice cream. People are giving you odd looks because this is a fucking sight to behold. Is these four people in fucking combat gear and guns just strapped all over them, and like grenades and shit, and they're eating ice cream.
Oh, and Frank is a messy eater. He gets some fucking ice cream like on his like after he like finishes the fucking thing. And he does that thing where it's like about 3/4 of the way down and then you just pop the rest of it in your mouth. After he does that, he like licks ice cream off of his like combat glove.
Yeah, and you guys go to the parade ground. Oh, in Indiana,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
the area around Capitol Hill's pretty busy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you're doing specifically to find someone who's acting a little shady?
Oh, absolutely. I'm calling that number over and over and over again. I'm gonna
You,
wait until I get there though, because I'm trying to look for
yeah.
somebody who hasn't turned their phone off yet. The other problem is because this guy is a coordinator, he probably needs to have his phone on for other important calls, so he can't just mute the damn thing.
Eventually, he'll figure out he can just screen that particular number. But
Eventually, yes, but I'm banking on him not doing that yet.
you see this guy, and he's a tall, slim, kind of gaunt figure. Looks a little bit older. Very long in the face, dour looking. But
So around other people.
yeah. In fact, as soon as he starts getting that and he looks around, he stays in the biggest pack he can find.
James, you know I have grenades, right?
I'm saying pack of innocent civilians.
James, you know I have grenades, right? No one will ever have to know it was me.
Yeah, fair, but also then people are gonna be like, "Yo, we can't have our parade anymore. There was a fucking grenade went off at fucking Capitol Hill."
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a
then
great
actually,
preventative measure.
we're gonna do it this way. He's got to feel a point in his back, but there's nobody there. And he's going to hear, you and I are going to go somewhere private.
He and he kind of glances back, and you can tell like that he's done this before. He's like, "If I don't report back every 30 minutes, someone's gonna know something's wrong."
I don't plan on killing you. I just need some information.
Who are you working for? The feds?
Would the feds do this?
You'd be surprised.
Well, all I can say is Iblis is not my enemy.
That takes him aback. He slowly backs away from the crowd and does lead you to that nice little spot.
Yep. Just kind of a, the point retreats, you know. He's not going to be able to see me. But
Yeah,
I'm
he
going to go,
sits down on a bench and he's like I said, just to be certain, if I don't report back every 30 minutes, someone's going to know something's wrong.
of course. I'm not here to stop what's going to happen. I'm here to just control the I'm just here to control the collateral.
There's actually a long moment of pause before he says, I only know one person who would give a damn about people like that. You're working with Zeminiar, aren't you?
If I'm working with Zeminiar, why am I here and not running away?
Someone with that coward's gotta know that this needs to happen.
Maybe, maybe not. So what's the plan?
Zenerite tainted fireworks. And something else. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that well, the parade itself will be hit, but I don't know about the rest.
That makes sense. You know they're going to fight back. You're going to lose people.
We have more. And this is
Oh,
more
there's more.
about a statement.
So once they're infected, what then?
And they can live with the hell that they created for themselves. Like we have. It's that simple.
That's interesting. Why do you think I'm with Zeminiar? Wouldn't he already be privy to all of this?
No. Zminiar said some things that Iblis didn't like, so he's been keeping him cut out of the info. On Gop's suggestion.
On Gop's suggestion. That's unfortunate. So I'm assuming Iblis is not here.
No.
Smart. Like I said, I'm not an enemy of Iblis.
If you were. And he nods, he's like, no one with half a brain would ever be an enemy to Iblis.
There's going to be a reckoning here. They do realize that the rest of the world is not going to sit quiet after this happens, yes?
Kind of looks in your general direction, this kind of almost insidious smile. He's like, that's exactly the point.
You want... Why would Kairos want the attention of the world?
Everything will be better once everything will be better once people start fighting again.
Is this about Project Yeats at all?
I can't speak on that.
Understand. But know this. That plan is going to lead nowhere but ruin, you understand?
It's a nice last option.
Welcome to the end of the world, where the only option is the nuclear one.
We have things a bit more clever than nukes. As it says as he stands up, he's like, now, my strange friend, I need to get back to my job and you need to get back to yours.
First things first, she says, dropping a piece of paper with a secure number on it. Someday you'll reach out, and when that happens, you can call.
He takes the number and you see him commit it to memory, like read over it time and time again. Then he pulls out a lighter, burns the piece of paper. He's like,
Yep.
we'll see. And just starts walking back towards the gathering crowd because it's about time for the
It's about time. Yep.
Yeah, about time for the parade. In fact, the parade's probably already started. It's
okay.
like it's like an armed forces parade, they go through the different branches, and it's also a little history thing about like, oh, here's the army, and they have like some people are dressed up as like Minutemen and stuff like that, going over the strong military tradition of the United States and stuff like that.
We have the fucking stars and stripes forever going in the background.
Yep.
The stilt walkers are dressed like mechs.
Oh
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
No, they probably do have like mechs actually walking in the parade. They're unarmed, but they are walking in the parade and like they're fucking decked out in the stars and stripes and everything. And like that's when you see that like two parts of Capitol Hill, big American flags roll down, and then like this voice over an intercom comes over, and it's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please." Then I don't have a name for the president because I'm a bad writer. The president of the United States is now going to deliver her speech. Joining the president today is the Secretary of Defense. That's when you see, again, these two. This very petite-looking woman and this fucking giant of a man. And Frank, you'd actually recognize the Secretary of Defense is a 4-star general who was born in Texas, but left the Texas Republic.
Yeah, I lean down and go, no shit. And I like lean to
Basically, like
Hold on.
everything the Texas
I
Republic
missed
said
all of
he
that.
should
What were you-
do. Oh,
Hold on. If you guys want to say that again, it did drop again.
Oh,
It's back.
whoop.
It's back though. So,
uh,
4-star
so yeah,
general.
4-star
back from
general,
Texas.
Texas.
And what did you
Yeah.
say to Murr?
Well, hold on. What is the information? Because that
Oh.
might change what I would say to
Yeah.
Murr.
You know that everything that the Texas Republic said to do with the military, he said no, and he wanted to do like legit stuff, and he was never defeated in battle, because there was a war between Texas and the rest of the southwestern states,
Yeah.
and he kicked their asses.
Actually, yeah. Frank would probably respect that dude. I'd be like, well, I'll be a son of a bitch. Murray, you recognize him?
Yeah, I was like, didn't you say he was like some big Texas guy they ran out? I mean,
Yeah.
big, I can tell that.
He's one of the most Texas Texans that I ever did Texas.
And yet that's when you do see it, like he adjusts his tie, and there's like this big screen that's projecting them as the president is going over her speech.
Yeah.
And he's got a fucking bolo tie with like a steer skull for the head of it underneath his fucking regular tie.
Yeah, and he's like, you may not have the most favorable view on Texas, but it's where I was born and raised. And probably where I died. That man right there, he represents the good shit.
Everybody nods at that. And that's when, like, all of a sudden the screen crackles and the image is gone. Everybody looks around, and then the Kairos emblem pops up on it, nice and big.
Frank's gonna just like, he doesn't give a fuck what's going on. He's popping his mask, he's getting the gun ready. He's like, all right, nut check time.
And then, after a moment, the image changes again, and it's this man who's wearing he's sitting. He's wearing a black robe that's bundled up and pinned with a pin. It is also the Kairos emblem, a hood drawn up, and a mask that covers the rest of his face that's completely reflective. It's reflecting all of the lights and even the camera pointed at him. And he's just like, "People of Washington, today's festivities find you well, I hope. I won't keep you long. My name is Iblis, and I represent a group, perhaps you've heard of them, known as Kairos. Yes, the very same. Tell me, where is your family right now? Are they safe? Happy? Healthy? Simple questions, and I assume I speak for everyone when I say this. Ones that should be afforded to every soul. No? For the infected, this is unfortunately not the reality. And that's your fault. You, the ones who profess tolerance, civility, culture, the ones who lament the loss of the world before Shiva. And yet you aren't above tossing people aside whose only crime was a disease they could not control. This isn't the only hypocrisy poisoning our world, nor the only one I will correct. Had you all admitted your disdain for the infected, had you simply killed them all when you had the chance, this day would not be happening. Had the MTO and the European Union cast aside their paltry veil of diplomacy and thrown the world back into war, there would have been no Shiva, no infection. But they didn't. and neither did you. So you must live with the consequence of your mortal failing. I am no great man, nor an uncommon one. I am merely a man that saw the truth of life and struggled and decided to do what was right. And so Kairos will be the instrument of that truth, starting today. Bare your teeth if you have them, and maybe you'll live long enough to see a better tomorrow. Oh, and enjoy the fireworks. We've worked so very hard to make them special. And at that, all of these fireworks start going off. It's still daytime. And you notice by now, the Secretary of Defense has basically scooped up the president and gone into Capitol Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's looking around, very confused about what's happening. And that's when, like all of you have suits. Like probably you hear it from Gowan since he has like an actual tech suit.
Mm-hmm.
There's this little beeping and it says airborne contaminants detected after the fireworks go off.
I'm glad he decided to have a Scottish, yes, the Scottish voice
Yeah.
suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fucking, I hope everyone's masked up. Frank already is. He put out a
Oh,
cigarette
yeah.
for this shit.
Yeah, like everyone masks up, and Murr's just kind of like, oh, maybe it was a good thing I have the helmet on.
Yeah.
And you notice, people start freaking out. You hear people screaming and running away. And it's when you look over to the side and you see a horde of Cairo soldiers sprinting out of every hidden avenue.
Oh,
Most of
no.
them are armed with just swords, but also crossbows, compound bows. A few of them have guns, and they are in a dead sprint. The ones with the swords actually managed to get up to the line of cops who are protecting the parade, like just making sure people behave themselves, and are just laying into them. And they're going after civilians to everyone. And you hear a whine, you look up and you see more of those drones, those little transforming drones from before. 1, 2, 3, half a dozen, 2 dozen, just filling the air like little gnats.
Yeah, we're in over our head. We need backup, evac, whatever the hell we can get. This is much bigger than we can deal with. Like, radioing into the Calliope.
Sorry, I had something else for that.
Oh, sorry.
No, but like, you do that, and then like, there's a brief pause, and it's like, I need all of you to get back to the Calliope ASAP. We're under attack. We can't defend ourselves. Whatever you're doing, get back here now. Can anyone hear me?
I think that's our cue to run.
Yeah.
Fowler's already running.
Uh-huh.
Cars that I can steal.
Yeah, no. Let's get the fuck out of here, gang. Frank's bringing up the rear.
Let's make like a tree and leave.
Probably hotwire a car to get us to go faster.
Ooh.
That's a good idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Until you're running out of civilians.
And it's a fucking panic.
Hmm.
But then you see like some of these, like one of the soldiers who's in like one of these mechs, even though it's unarmed, wades into these Kairos people and is just either stomping on them or trying to smash down with his fists.
Well, at least they're not just for show.
But then it gets its arm blown off by a rocket, and you hear
And there it goes.
pumping, and yeah, there are Kairos mechs coming out of the woodwork as well.
Fuck.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Let's fucking book. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, and
Let's
Godwin's
go.
like in the driver's seat of the car, and he's like, "Just get it going, and I can get us going. Just get it going, and I can get us going."
Sure you're on the right side of the road for that, Scotty?
He looks
I'll
back
get
and
it
he's like,
going.
"Do you fucking have a preference right now?"
I like look at him with a grin, through my mask, and I'm like, no, just checking. And I'm like, at this point, I shatter the back window of the car with my shotgun butt, and I'm getting ready to take out any motherfucker who comes up at us.
And this is a cop car you're trying to steal, by the way. But
Oh, then I blast out the back window with my shotgun.
So the
Which
key's
means
already in there, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
but no, the those cops are dead. They've been shot.
Exactly, the key's already in the ignition.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, they probably would have. But
Uh-huh.
you start it up, and he's like, right. Anyone else want to be a backseat driver? You're all going to get into the fucking lorry, and we're going to leave.
I am going to
Lori.
talk to you later about the word Lori. But go!
Who's Lori? He's getting in the car.
Just get in the
Jesus.
goddamn car.
I like how we're in the middle of a terrorist attack and we're all cracking jokes.
But witty banter.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that someone probably could have, forestalled at least part of this and chose not to.
Mhm.
We haven't
Yeah,
talked
but we
about
don't
that.
know that.
No.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yet.
And this is like, you hear like a thunk in the back window, and there's like a crossbow bolt in the back of it. Frank, and you're like, huh, there'd been windshield, I'd be dead right now.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he just looks at the bolt and then looks out there. Can I see the motherfucker with the crossbow?
Yeah, he's like perched on a little hill, and he like even sees you look back and is just like points at you.
Points. I point back at him with an incredulous look on my face, like, the fuck are you pointing at me for?
Well, you can't hear, he's probably yelling at you.
Yeah, I'm
Because
just
they're
like,
all wearing masks too.
yeah, I just like blast my shotgun in his general direction, knowing it probably won't have the range.
It doesn't, but it does like make him duck for
Well,
cover.
Is it
And I
within
flip
50
him off,
yards?
because fuck him.
Is it within 50 yards? Because that's, shotgun's good up to 50.
Yeah, but the spread's pretty bad on it.
Yeah, it's a
he-
sawed off. It's a sawed off
true.
over under. So
Is
it's a
with,
mare's leg.
Buck? Slug?
Buck.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna shoot a sawed off with slug? Oh
Why not?
god.
Why
'Cause-
not? The recoil.
Yeah, it's a mare's
You
leg.
hate-
It's supposed
You hate
Huh?
you hate your fucking shoulder. That's what it is.
No, it's a mare's leg. It kicks like a motherfucker, but I'm not gonna blast a slug through it.
Why not?
Actually,
And-
I think I have blasted slugs through it before
Oh.
in this game.
Let's see
By
how
the way-
good Gowan is at getting the fuck out of here.
Murr does
right
have
now.
his P90 now, does he not?
Yeah,
I got him.
and he's
Yep.
like broken the other window on his own
Yes.
Uh-huh.
using the trench shovel to like
Uh-huh.
punch through it, and is like ready to like lean out the window if he has to with the P90.
Jesus.
Murr, I'm gonna need covering fire on this shit. Looks like they've made our cop car. Lay it down probably about 12 o'clock.
He nods and he's just like, yeah, this thing doesn't have a lot of range.
Yeah, but it puts out a lot of bullets.
Oh, you guys fucking you're like puts a lot of range.
Yeah.
Gowan just
Crispy.
fucking floors it.
Oh man, I
And,
love that.
And this is a cop car. It gets up and goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like fucking takes a turn real hard, knocks down a bunch of Kairos people who are chasing you, and he's like, oh, guess they're not getting the deposit back. But then you get a call on the radio, and it's this woman. She sounds like she's struggling. She's like, this is Officer Sybil Riley, SWAT team. I'm pinned down at the, and he like gives an address. At the local library. They have hostages. Officer
go.
down.
Without a second thought, let's go.
We need to get back to
Frank's
the,
like,
yeah.
no, we've got a Calliope to deal with.
Fine, then drop me off.
or we can come back with our mechs and then
Well,
provide
you're going
assistance.
to want some sort of intel. Drop me off.
I repeat
This-
again, hostage situation.
Let
If
the
you
invisible
don't
woman
want-
go.
I will. What's that?
Let the invisible girl go.
All right. And like,
And
like,
he's coming with me, I say, grabbing Gowan.
what the fuck? He's our driver.
Oh, fuck, he's
Yeah.
driving. Never mind. All right. never
Don't
mind,
go on me,
actually.
I'm driving you, hag!
I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be better in my mech anyway. I like kind of eeny meeny And then I'm like, wait, which one of your
I
mechs
can
can
stay
pilot
invisible
itself?
and safe. Just let me go. You don't need to risk yourself.
Mer just looks at the rest and he's like, I'm going with Indiana. I'm not sitting by and letting a bunch of people get killed over this.
Fine, we're going to the fucking hostages.
No.
We've got a ship to
Frank!
protect.
Yeah, I know.
God.
And then he's like,
We
pull
can
us
save
up
more
to
people
there.
with big robots.
Go get
Yep.
your fucking big
I'll-
robots then. It's fine.
Nope. I'm going with.
I'm
So
talking to
Frank-
Howler. Go get
Yeah,
your big
Frank,
robot.
Indiana, and
All right.
and
Mer.
Murr can go to the library, and we'll go get the mechs.
Kong, tow my mech behind you if you don't mind.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Sorry, I meant to call you Howler.
I know.
Yeah, we're actually going to cut there for today because it's about time. Cliffhanger. And we're going to go right into sign-offs. And thought we were going to have time for combat, but you guys had much better stuff to do, and I'm actually very, very happy that we didn't. So we're going to start with Daniel, so he'll quit being a bitch about going last.
Wow.
Shit.
Got him.
I'll just leave.
Don't leave. I need you.
You can
So-
leave after you tell us who you are.
I'm no one, nothing special, just someone who's gonna fade away into the nothingness of the abyss. Anyways, yeah, hi, it's Sassy McNasty69. About to take some Tylenol for my neck. Yeah, you caught me here playing Sin because everything I do is a sin, according to the party. You can also catch me here on Mondays for the Fire Strike as Oliver Byrne, on Wednesdays as Shadowhound and Crash, and on Thursdays in New Amsterdam as Scene. And then when Cosmos returns, you can catch me there as a multitude of characters doing all sorts of different things, including invading people's minds and trying to expel a demon into a mindless body that I happen to have on hand. How convenient. And that's me.
All right, let's move on to Gunner.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cyrus Smith. Today, I've got me playing Indiana, the spy who is telling absolutely anyone anything to get them to tell her what she wants. Now, I'm kind of curious if she was being honest when she said she's not an enemy of Iblis. I mean,
Being honest with what?
when saying, not an enemy of Iblis. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? Anyways, you can also find me on. Oh, also, I am the de facto. LaShawn is just not even in the picture anymore. I'm de facto therapist, and I solve my problems with hugs or other people's problems with hugs. I mean, it's like a band-aid, but it feels all right, and there aren't the same side
Yeah,
effects.
not very ethical as a therapist, but I think on this channel we have said do what's epic. Fuck ethics.
That sounds familiar.
So, that being said, you can also find me on Monday playing Twinkle Bailey, the isekai who is an ambassador waiting for, something cool to happen, I guess. You can also find me on Wednesdays in Hench to Mensch, where I don't know what's happening, but we skipped a month, so that happened. You can also find me on Thursday in New Amsterdam playing as Lucky, who just found out that the fucking last character I played was your dad. Thanks for letting me know, Mike. Anyways, that's it for me.
All right, let's move on to the Computer King.
I'm the Computer King, the supervillain of streaming. And yes, I just had Howler by Mandy basically dominatrix gear.
Oh
It
no!
happens.
You know that the
It's
fucking
just her
crew's
personality.
yeah, the crew's gonna be like, oh no, what have you done? You've given her more power.
Yep, and on Mondays I'm in Fire Strike as Lee Son Ah, 30-foot tall martial artist with 4 arms and control over entropy. On Wednesdays I run from Hench to Mensch, where things are, well, it looked like they were settling down, but it looks like it's going to be a really hot time coming up. And on Thursdays I'm in New Amsterdam as a corpo who, well, he's got to find some way of getting the job done with no extra money from anyone. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to get the guys to go in on this. Other than that, every once in a while I stream as the Computer King. And nobody doesn't like watching a supervillain play games and fail miserably, right?
Eh.
I'm done.
All right, that leaves last and certainly not least, but certainly most yeast. Mike.
You?
Hold on. I'm certainly most yeast.
You're
'Cause you're gonna get
sourdough.
that. You're gonna get that bread.
Oh hell yeah! Hey everybody, my name is Mike. Host knows win 5 get 1 free. Today you got me playing Frank, a very complicated man. Very complicated.
Dead man walking.
Yeah, right. And now everybody knows, and I think the only person who doesn't know that everybody knows is Frank, and Mur doesn't know anything, so that's good at least. But
For
yeah,
now.
nobody told. Huh?
I said for now.
Yeah, nobody told Frank that they had a little powwow behind his back, so that is what it is.
No secrets. That's
Um,
why we just
No
refuse
secrets.
to acknowledge it. We just refuse to acknowledge it's a secret. And by the way, that was a fucking secret, Frank. I could have used that against you, Frank.
yeah. But no, let's see here. Next things next, you can catch me on Mondays, where I play ex-Paralictor Burnward, Knighted Patella, a cop, who is going to be in his fucking element pretty soon. And no, I don't mean the battlefield. I mean the mercenary convention. So he's gonna be screening candidates and getting everybody lined up and organized in splendiferous fashion.
Oh boy, I can't wait to get my cosplay ready for MercCon.
Right? Fucking show up as your favorite death dealer. No, and then you can catch me running the game on Thursday, New Amsterdam, where, you know, it's New Amsterdam. Exciting stuff's going on. Not quite sure where I'm going next. I'll figure it out by Thursday. Yeah, that is going to be me, I think. Am I missing something? No, I'm not. Awesome, that's me.
Yay.
All right, and that leaves it just to me. Hello, friendolas. My name is James, otherwise known as Night. You caught me here today where I run Yakshas, where shit got real. And shit will be real. And I don't think shit will ever not be real anymore. So I don't think you come back from this. The die has cast, and they shall cross the Rubicon. You can also find me here, sometimes on Mondays, but probably not for a while, where I guest star in Fire Strike as Gerald Silverchild, who might as well be called as because he's pretty much L, the fucking guy who runs the whole plot. Haha, I'm in charge. You can also find me here on Thursdays, where I play Dove, the former sex worker turned solo who is going to kick some ass and take some names and got some more badass cyberware. And I think that's just about it for me. So we're going to get it out of here on an RIP that one guy. RIP that one infected guy.
R.I.P.
that one
infected
infected guy.